Alex here with a legal nuts and bolts video on unauthorized practice of law. A lot of people that email me, probably 1 in 3, will ask a question that is it goes too far, and I can't give them the answer and they get frustrated, so I figured it's time to do a video on it. Plus, I'll go ahead and explain what this is too, just so that other people here will understand why they shouldn't try to give people, I hate to say legal advice because it's really murky as to what the unauthorized practice of law is. When you look at the statutes, it's like a couple of sentences worth basically saying it's a crime. I'm sure all 50 states have this statute. And when it comes to the case law, I really couldn't find anything that gave me like sort of a list of things that you're allowed to do versus not. I can sort of do my best guess. I mean, I know I know subjectively at least that I can't prepare people's papers and pleadings for them and have them sign them and file them in court. That goes way too far. I know I shouldn't be taking legal questions and giving a very specific answer as to exactly what's going to happen in someone's case. That goes too far. And sometimes people just try to give me all of the facts of the case. And when they do that, it's hard for me to answer a question legally because when you've given me all these facts, I can't really give you a general answer, which is really the only place that I feel I'm safe in the sense of helping people, is giving people general legal answers. When you give me all the facts of your case, if I give you any kind of answer, you're going to take that as, well, this is precisely what I need to do in my case to get where I need to get. And I can't do that because I'm not an attorney and I'm not licensed. And aside from facing, criminal charges, I could face civil, like a civil lawsuit for damages. So, my full-time job is not paralegal. My full-time job is nothing lawyer. Like I'm a software engineer, and this is just what I'm trying to do on the side to help people. One of the reasons why there's probably no other channels, or very few channels, that specifically try to help people with these complex legal issues is because people don't want to get in trouble. And so I'm kind of going out on a limb here to help as many people as possible, to help my audience without getting in trouble. So I'm sorry, but I can't answer. If you need to know exactly what to do in your own case, you're going to have to do your own research. What I hope these videos provide people with is sort of the way I'm thinking, to sort of get everyone else to sort of see how you should think about how approaching some of the problems in your case. The examples I think are great and fair. I think there's no way that somebody's going to be able to nail me for unauthorized practice of law when I'm explaining what I did in my own case, because people learn from examples, and I'm not sure people are going to take away from that, well, since Alex did this is exactly what I need to do. I think people understand that worked for him. I don't know if it'll work for me, and they'll go and they'll learn as much as they can about their own system, their own state, and their own courts. And it's just, I feel safe giving examples. I feel safe giving procedural answers, like helping people with things like computing time and stuff. A lot of times, even if I can't give a specific answer, I feel like it gives people the clues that they need to sort of feel like they have somewhere to start from, and sort of give people at least a fuzzy idea of what could happen in their case, or options that they didn't even know existed. So many people don't even know what a proposed order is or what a peremptory challenge of judge is. To just tell people that certain things exist is a big deal, I think. So this is just a video that's sort of telling everyone, trying to tell everyone here that it's not that I don't want to help you, it's that I'm not allowed to. Now, I can actually go a step further and prove that, because there are areas of the law where I'm allowed to represent people even though I'm not an attorney, and I've done it a bunch of times. For example, in unemployment appeals, Nevada will allow a non-attorney to represent someone at an unemployment appeals hearing, and I've done that 5 times, and I've won all but one, and the one I lost went to the Supreme Court and was reversed, so that counts as a win too. And I'm allowed to represent people in Department of Defense security clearance hearings. I've done that 1 time and I won that one. So even though I'm not an attorney, I can battle attorneys in those rare circumstances. Why? Because there's a Nevada administrative code for the unemployment scheme that says specifically in there that you can sign an affidavit allowing somebody to represent you, even if they're not a lawyer. And then in the Department of Defense security clearance hearings, they have this giant statutory code scheme, and right inside that scheme it says that a non-attorney representative can represent you. So The other area that I help people is bankruptcy petitions. I'm actually very limited in that one. I'm not allowed to give any legal advice at all, but I'm allowed to prepare the petition and help people when it comes to like typing the whole thing up and giving it to them for them to file. So I'm not as free to do whatever I want in those, but I've done a bunch of those too. So there's proof. When I'm allowed to help you, I will do it. But those are the circumstances. When it comes to helping people in their child custody case, some people here might have heard that I've been able to help people. The reason why is because they'll hire an attorney and then I'll work for the attorney. That's legal. Being a paralegal for a licensed attorney is perfectly fair, legal, and valid in Nevada. The attorney will take my papers, the attorney will sign them. That's allowed. I can't be your paralegal. You're a non-attorney. I can't write your stuff up and you sign it. That's not the same thing. That's not allowed. I can't do that. What else was I going to say? I really think, well, I was going to go ahead and explain a little bit why I'm not sure that this is such a bad idea. I'm sure that these statutes about representing somebody without a license came out a long time ago because there were scammers, and they probably exploited the people who didn't have enough money to afford an attorney. They probably exploited their advertisement to make themselves seem like lawyers, and they probably, I mean, there's also a lot of damage you can do when you represent someone. If you don't know what you're doing, you can do a lot of damage to their case. I mean, most of it isn't life-threatening, but it's usually it's irreversible. What the damage that's done usually can't be fixed, and for sure you can't go back to court and say, with one exception, you can't go back to court and say my lawyer sucked, so I should get a redo. The one exception is criminal cases. You have a constitutional right to an attorney, and that's when you're facing criminal charges, your attorney has to at least be good enough that your rights under the Constitution were preserved. That's your one exception, where some criminals can come back and say that their lawyer was so bad that it was like they didn't even have one. And that's only, like I said, that's only for criminal cases. And the rest of us in our civil cases can't do that. You can't get a decision reversed or get a do-over based on your lawyer not knowing what he's doing. So, I mean, I can understand why the statute, I can understand why it's been criminalized. I can understand it. I'm in a weird position because even though I'm not an attorney, people will see that I've gotten so far and that I've gone through the process and that I've terminated my ex's parental rights and that I've won 4 appeals and I got published by the Supreme Court. And people will listen to me differently than they would if it was like their brother Joe saying, yeah, you could go and change child support. People will be like, okay, well, that's cool that my brother said that, but he's not a lawyer and he doesn't know. I mean, when I say something, it's more likely people will think it's right. And so I have to be more careful about it because I'm not always right. So, yeah, I have to be really cautious about specifically what I can tell people who are, I don't even want to really go into specifics because I don't want to really lock myself into sort of a list of things that I will answer and a list of things that I won't. That could change as time goes on and I change my mind as to how much help I'm willing to give people and how much I'm willing to answer. If it seems like I'm pausing a lot on this video, it's because I'm trying to avoid setting up some sort of standard that people think they can follow to get answers from me, because it's not that simple, and I kind of have to take it on a case-by-case, email-by-email, text message-by-text message basis as far as to what I will tell people and how I'll answer people's questions. I really hope that people understand that I can't just answer anything. Like, there's so many channels out here that help people with like working on their car, making a cake, planting a garden, and they can answer any question that they want and have no fear. But I can't do that on this channel because I'm answering legal questions and there's this boundary that I can't cross, and like I said, it's really murky and I don't know where it starts and ends. So I'm kind of like trailblazing in this area a little bit as far as trying to help people with complex legal issues on YouTube without getting in trouble. So hopefully people watch this video and they understand, and I hope you still keep watching, and I hope that the clues and the examples are moving people in the right direction. And like I said, I'm sorry that I can't give you predictions and very specific detailed answers on what exactly you have to do. So with that, I'll go ahead and end this video, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.